Hello, hip shooter, my painting friend. Hello, CDL type. These are Space Wolves. Hi, Scraggly Muffin, welcome. The Last Breath Responder, hello. I am also in Northern California. These are Space Wolves from the Horus Heresy game. So their color scheme is a little bit darker gray than the Warhammer 40k Space Wolves, which are more like a powdery blue. And I'm painting them tonight because the Warhammer community article today showed off the new Space Wolves characters that they're going to be selling pretty soon. I did not hear that Cole McGuinness new album, but that sounds pretty terrific. I wonder if he got the okay from Games Workshop to do that. They're pretty stringent with their IP. So I'm painting these, I don't know what you would call them. There are 5 of them. They're Volkite. I think we've got enough people here in the chat now for me to talk about this. But I've also got 5 of the Forge World Deathsworn. These are the guys in black armor with wolf skull masks. I've got a couple of officers. This one, Praetor, here, in some really amazing armor with a wolf pelt, shield, back banner. And there's this other one that looks like he might be custom made from a bunch of different kits. No, actually, he looks like a Space Wolf character. He's got Space Wolf accoutrements and the axe. So I just don't know what this is. I'm not really familiar with this guy. Look at this heavy bolter. And I've got him, and then I've got 5 Varigir Terminators, which you might have seen. I've painted a bunch of Varigir Terminators before. So the same kit, I've got 5 more of them here that I'm going to be working on. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys. I'm going to be working mainly on these guys tonight so I can get them painted up as quickly as I can. Everything else is going to take a little bit more time. But if you'd like to see me paint something else, just leave it. Column McGuinness. Just leave a comment, and of course a super chat would help persuade me. But if you like just watching me paint, then yeah, hang out for sure and work on whatever you're working on as well. All right, here we go. Boy, you better be using that ABS. Column McGuinness. Column McGuinness. I think these are called Volkite weapons. I gotta actually look up with my iPad to see how to paint these Deathsworn guys, because all I know is that their wolf masks are in bone, and I'm not too sure about the other colors, except that their armor is black. Probably gonna paint their wolf pelts brown, like some brown leather. Yeah, you know what? I might be okay. Maybe I don't need to look up how to paint these guys. And for those of you who are new to my channel, I have a couple of younglings that are trying to sleep as I paint, and at any time if they wake up and start screaming, then as a father first and a Warhammer YouTuber second, I'm gonna have to leave all of you fine folks to tend to my brood. But I'll try to return as quickly as possible. So if you guys want to hang out while that happens, you're free to do that. If you would rather swipe away, then you can do that as well. To all of you who are doom scrolling, welcome as well that have found yourself here. I'm using Mechanicus Standard Gray that I'm going to highlight with Dawnstone. I'm going to do some selective pin lining. I don't think I'm going to call it washing, but I might do some pin lining with Agrax Earthshade. I want them to be dark gray, like the official artwork and 30K Space Wolves are known to be. And then I'm going to be using some Space Wolf transfers. You might see the transfer sheet is linked in this video. And that's the one I'm going to be using to put all of the embroidery and stuff on. Mostly just Citadel paints. Black wash, yeah. Agrax Earthshade is pretty good. All right, thank you again for joining me, everybody. I might have to step away for a little bit, but if you want to continue to hang out, then a happy Sunday night to you all, and I will be back in just a little while. Let's put an interesting guy up to look at, a Varigir Terminator. Yeah, I'm gonna look forward to getting to him. He's gonna be pretty cool. Oh, thank you, Dog984. Painting a Blood Angel Dreadnought right now. Right on. Welcome everyone, thanks for joining me. I'm going to be painting some Varigir now. Thanks, the one from the past, thank you. I'll put on my painter hat again. I'm doing good. How are you? Very well. For everybody who's just joined us, I'm working on some Space Wolves. I'm inspired by today's Warhammer community article that showed all the new Space Wolf characters that are going to be released in the coming weeks. Logan Grimnar, the High King of Fenris, outside of his Santa sleigh. Arjak Rockfist, Najal Njal, I think you pronounce it Njal, Stormcaller, and the Wolf Priest looks really great. It's one of the few models that I think has a really nice sculpt for the helmeted head, the mask, as well as the bear head. Not bear head, like raw bear, but the unhelmeted naked head. It's got like a really cool looking old man face and hair. It looks really cool. Although the wolf mask with the hood, I think that's just as good. Space Wolves, 40k Space Wolves have got it pretty good compared to the poor Blood Angels. The Blood Angels release was sadly not that great. Gold detailing on the tank, that sounds good. Yeah, the faces are some of my favorite parts to paint Piers. I usually save them for last, but since I'm looking at so much gray on the screen here, I think it might be interesting for anyone who's doom scrolling and happens to come across my live stream here to see something they can focus on, like the face. I think somebody mentioned that it's hard to get into Varigir when you can just kit bash your own, and although I agree, it's kind of interesting because they're in cataphracti armor with all of these Space Wolves adornments, like the cataphracti flat rectangular shoulder plates, this gold detailing on the gauntlets, and then all of the runes on the leg armor. If you can do that on cataphracti armor, then I think you can kit bash some pretty cool looking Varigir Terminators. So happy Sunday night, everybody. Let me know where you're all coming from. I know the one from the past is in Australia. I'm in Northern California. I think somebody in here earlier mentioned that they were from Northern California as well. But I always like to see at different points in my podcast, in my live stream, where you're all from. See where the YouTube algorithm is sending viewers from as you doom scroll through all of the hilarious live streams. New Zealand peers, all right, ready, really cool. Oregon Google user. If you want to see the one from the past tank, everybody's work that is celebrated in my Discord, just join the Discord. The link is in the video description. You can post your own work. You can join our 5,000 painted minis by the end of August. Great Crusade. We're trying to paint through all of our backlogs and all of the piles of shame we have. So I hope you join us. I hope you get motivated to paint this summer. It's going to be a great summer to paint. New edition of Horus Heresy is coming out. A lot of new models. Grand Cathay, if you're into Warhammer Fantasy or the Old World, is on the horizon. So let's paint up all the minis in our collections. Have a great time doing so. And you can join my Discord. If you'd like to support the channel, then I would welcome you to do that as well. Trying to see, where else did I paint black? Oh yeah, all of these little cords. What do you guys think? Brown hair, dirty blonde, red head. What should we make this guy? Let me know in the comments. I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit here. Kind of looks like Keanu Reeves to me. Maybe we'll do black hair. Kind of looks like Keanu Reeves is John Wick. Maybe we'll do black hair with some white streaks in it. Red hair appears. Just got a new Mournfang Brown pot. I think Mournfang Brown is the best base for red hair. Let me see if I can find it. Mournfang Brown is the basis for red hair. I've also got some Deathcore of Krieg minis I was thinking of painting tonight before I settled on the Space Wolves. And Mournfang Brown is a great color for like the leathers on Deathcore of Krieg. These Varigear sculpts are so good, like the hair, individual strands of hair, the beard, the braids, the mustache. See, look at that. It's already such a nice, natural looking reddish brown. You really don't have to do too much. You don't want to go too far into like a cartoony red. Making it look natural is always more interesting to me. So we're gonna stick pretty close to that as I continue working at everything else on this mini. Hi, sorry, I was just keeping the microphone cut out, but the audio is not gone. I'm still here. Every time I'm thinking of saying something, I'll cue the mic back in, but I might cut out the mic again just to not have to worry about if the babies start crying or there's any weird noises. Yeah, I'm using Necro Gold here. It's my favorite gold color to paint, especially 30K. I find 40K miniatures, plastic, they do pretty well with the brighter gold colors, like Retributor armor. They're a little bit more silly and goofy and cartoony. The Primaris Marines, Warhammer 30K mostly being resin, and Horus Heresy miniatures in plastic, I find look really nice with this old looking gold. So that's why I paint Necro Gold. There's a lot of little rivets and I found that the extra work is worth it though. Just take a little bit more time to do this extra step and you're gonna be much happier. I've done a series of videos on how I paint my Varigear Terminators. It's funny because I'm going back now and I'm watching them again because some of these things I've forgotten. So it's my way of cataloging for myself. How did I do this armor again? Or how did I do this color for the trim and highlights or whatever? Thanks you guys all for hanging out. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for everybody who's donated to my channel so far. This part is always the most stressful, painting the trim and all of this design on the Space Wolves because they have so much of it on their armor. But I found that if you just don't worry about painting the gray, then it kind of takes a little bit of that stress away. So just do the mental, take the mental step to just move forward, get that brush moving. Don't let yourself be paralyzed by fear when it comes to painting. Every mistake can be fixed. I think that's something we forget sometimes. We don't want to screw it up. We think, oh, we only have one chance. You don't have just one chance. This thing is yours. You paid for it. You invested in it. You can always go back and fix a mistake. I primed with a Army Painter rattle can called Uniform Gray. It's pretty close to Mechanicus Standard Gray. If you're going to prime in white or black, then the first color I would paint would be Mechanicus Standard Gray all over. And then I'm going to do, you're going to see in just a little while, a Dawn Stone highlight. $4,000 Hammers, these are resin miniatures from Forge World. They are Space Wolves miniatures for their Warhammer 30K Horus Heresy game, and they are called Varagir Terminators. Warhammer 40K Games Workshop miniatures are usually made in plastic. They used to be in metal, but their company Forge World, they are the ones that print in resin. So these are resin miniatures. Hi, for the new questions, Elsa, do you lacquer it after paint finish? I varnish it in spray varnish. You can either varnish in a matte finish, which is a flat varnish, or you could do like a glossy clear coat varnish. It depends on what kind of miniature it is. If you're looking for a shinier finish or a more dull finish. And Sebastian, how long does it take to finish one? It depends on how detailed and colorful it is, how many steps you want to do, the kind of effects, transitions, and colors, and how much time you devote to it. Everybody's different. You can whip through one of these fairly quickly and have it looking pretty rough, or you can take hours and hours and hours, and it can still look pretty rough. Or if you got a lot of practice and a lot of experience under your belt, you can whip through it after a few hours, which is what I'm trying to do. My goal is maybe an hour per mini. That would be great, so I could start and finish one during each live stream. That'd be a pretty cool goal. That thing has a killer beard. Yes, he does. I bet he could kill stuff with his beard, probably. I remember watching your Dwarf Warriors and Vostroya Baneblade years and years ago, and you just reappeared in my feed. Thanks, Dave. Those were all some great memories. It's hard to believe that I've been posting on YouTube since November of 2009. If you look in my feed or my channel to my oldest video, it is literally me with a flip camera that couldn't focus up close, looking at my tabletop full of very blurry dwarf miniatures that I was painting as a commission for a friend. And it's amazing to see how far we've all come since then, because everybody, this whole world has really changed a lot since November of 2009. And yeah, check it out. Head to my channel and look at those first videos. I try not to delete anything unless it's just like not good quality. So those earliest videos of mine they're a trip to go down memory lane. And I'm glad you're here, Dave, because I remember my dwarf project. I actually restarted my dwarf project, right? I'm extending it. I've rebooted it. I've done a reboot, and I'm painting through a battalion of Dwarven Mountain Holds miniatures right now. So I finished my Thunderers and my Gyrocopter. I've got just some warriors and rangers and a gyro bomber to get through. But I'm going to be painting more of those on my channel. So if you guys are interested in what I'm doing, if the algorithm has brought you here through your doom scrolling, and if especially if you've seen my content before, like Dave has, I hope you will consider hitting that subscribe button and following me on my journey as I go from casual hobby painter to a professional hobby guy. Just trying to paint and live stream, hang out with all of you, and eventually sell all this stuff on eBay so that I can afford to get more amazing miniatures to paint on video for you guys. Sebastian, yes, I try to sell them on eBay. If you look up my store on eBay, it's WarbossTae. I do international shipping. All of my miniatures are hand painted by myself. For some reason, like, you have to say that a model is used if it's not in, original packaging. So sometimes people ask me like, oh, is it really used, these miniatures that you paint? I'm only saying that they're used because I have to touch them to paint them. I have to actually glue them together sometimes. But mostly everything that I sell on eBay is never been owned before. WarbossTae, like my channel name. I've only got 21 lots right now. Everything that I paint on live stream eventually finds itself there. And anything that I can find time to paint is going to end up in my eBay store, hopefully to find a good home. I used to think that, I used to be arrogant enough to think that everything I paint, I'll be able to play and own and keep. And now I realize, like, I'm just painting stuff and it's just gathering dust. So I'd rather it bring in some income for myself, and I'd rather give it to somebody who's going to appreciate it. Take all these miniatures out, roll some dice, have some fun with them. And the best feeling in the world is when you take out these painted miniatures to play, and your opponent and other people gathered around the store go, "Whoa, that's cool. Where did you get that? That looks really cool." It's my favorite part of this hobby. Thanks for hitting the like button, and thanks for following and watching. Just you being here tells the algorithm that my content is for you and for people like you. So I appreciate your eyeballs and your ears hanging out with me on this wonderful Sunday night. Let's actually try, I've done this before. Instead of Agrax Earthshade, I'm gonna try using Basilicum Gray to shade between the panel lines. It comes out as like a very dark, almost like a known oil, but it's a contrast paint. So let's see how it does. Yeah, it works pretty well as like a panel liner. Trick is you have to kind of keep to the panels, keep to the lines, but I like that it adds depth, you know. Agrax Earthshade, it gives it finishes with a kind of oily finish, especially if it pools. So I think this is going to be a little bit of a better finish. It's always nice to experiment with a new technique or a new product, change it up, learn something new, try something different. If it works, then it's a new tool for you to have. Contrast paints were a game changer for me when it comes to painting, especially for skin and muscle. Oh, okay. How's it going? Curious what time zone are you in? We'll check out the eBay sometime. Thanks, Corbin. I'm in Northern California, so Pacific time zone. I haven't been able to get into contrast paints as much. I'm slowly starting to put more of them into my whole painting repertoire, but on a whole, I would consider myself more of using like the traditional layer paints and washes and stuff. Yeah, it's a little too dark, I think. The good thing is that I've got all of my base paints here. So if I screw up, if I decide something isn't for me, I can just go back. That's the great thing about this hobby. You can just go back down a step. Trial and error. Something doesn't work, you just have to clean it up a little bit. This too. I'm also a huge fan of anything that's gonna lessen the time at the table. Look at that, that looks really cool. Look at that little like artificial shadow right there. That's what I'm talking about. So to do this, you just paint behind the armor plate. That's like the front armor plate. It's gonna create the shadow, and then you just pull that shadow across each of these segmented armor plates on the legs. Yep, good skill. Hello, Shinobi. Do I have any Death Company Marines? I do. I think you might have missed all of my Death Company videos and shorts that I made. I had a whole section that I was doing as a commission, and I've got more that I can paint for myself, but I have to assemble all of those. That's going to take me a while to get to. But yeah, I did a Death Company army box. And I used these Blood Angels transfers from the Legion transfer sheet to really decorate them and make them look nice. And I used the trim on the Blood Angels transfer sheet to decorate the jump packs. They came out looking really, really good. So I highly recommend that. Get yourself some Blood Angels transfer sheets and use the trim on the bottom to decorate like the backpacks, the jump packs, all of that stuff. This is my favorite gold. I love this gold. Absolutely love it. Batch painting some orcs, and the flesh is so fast and looks great with Wraithbone. The Plague Bearer contrast, then Bieltan wash, so much faster. Yeah, I think I found that method really works a while ago, a couple years ago. I don't think I used Wraithbone. I think I used Grace here, but yeah, I used Plague Bearer and then Bieltan, and it was so fast and it came out looking really nice. So good. I'm glad that other people have discovered it and use it. If you guys are interested in painting through your backlogs, I hope you consider joining my Discord. We've got a Gray Crusade challenge happening now where I'm challenging us worldwide to paint a combined goal of 5,000 miniatures. And every week you can take on a new challenge, a new oath of moment to help you, to help motivate you to paint your backlog, mostly your backlog, but it could be new stuff too. There's so much great new stuff coming out. All right, we're getting to the end here. Now what I can do is work on the wolf skin, the wolf fur pelts. Let's do a little bit of that. This is a Space Wolf Shinobi. Hi, Red Wolf, welcome to the stream. This is a miniature from Forge World. It's called the Varagir Terminator. There are 5. His 4 buddies are back there waiting to get painted. And I wanted to paint him up because I thought he looks pretty cool. Games Workshop on their Warhammer community article just released or revealed more details on their upcoming Space Wolf characters, like Niall Stormcaller, the High King, Logan Grimner, Arjak Rockfist. So I thought it'd be fun for tonight's stream to do some Space Wolves, get everybody hyped. Although it's not even up for pre-order yet. It was kind of like a reveal article. Like, look what we're working on. Still, it's pretty cool to see. They're getting so much better, more love. Hey, welcome, Coyote P, welcome. They're getting so much better treatment than the poor Blood Angels did. Poor Blood Angels. Their old Sanguinary Guard looks so good, and then the latest release, they took away those magnificent, beautiful angel wings and replaced them with like angel wing stickers on the turbines. So sad. I hope you succeed at life too, Red Wolf. Thank you very much. It's nice, but I don't think it's blue enough. It's not supposed to be blue. The old Warhammer 30K Space Wolves were actually a dark gray color. So they're not supposed to look blue, but I wanted, if you use Dawnstone, then they are going to actually have a little bit of a bluish tinge to it. Dawnstone gives the gray a little bit of a blue undertone. So if you're looking to do like a combination, or like if you'd like to do like a reference to the Warhammer 30K Space Wolves with Warhammer 40K, then you could do Space Wolves painted with like the Fang or Fenrisian Blue, Rust Gray. They have all the Space Wolf names for the grayish blues, right? And then finish with Dawnstone. We've got the Discord set up so that it's kind of monitors for bots. So if you do join, make sure you select a role for yourself first before you do anything else, like Painter. Then that will allow you to post pictures in all of the threads. So make sure you choose a role, painter, YouTuber, Twitch streamer, whatever, and then you'll be free to post. I love your angry Irish Santa. My angry Irish Santa. Space Wolf is giving, oh, angry Irish Santa. Okay, thank you. Good night, Red Wolf. Thanks. I joined, always need a good reason to fight the gray. Yep, that's what the Great Crusade is all about. This week is going to be insanely hot. I know. Everybody keep cool out there. I always get pings on my Alexa that there's heat advisory warnings for the week. I only like Death Company. Too much lore anyway. Have a great day. Thanks, Shinobi. Have a great day too. Good luck with your Death Company. We're nearing the end, my friends. We're almost at the end where I can start doing some transfers. Gotta get to this axe. This axe is still unpainted, but the bolter is pretty much finished except for some gold detailing and some highlights on the casing. So hang out, and I'm gonna mute the mic for a bit. So if you've got any questions or anything, just type them out, and then I will unmute the mic and get a discussion going. All right, guys, we're gonna try doing some black and yellow hazard stripes on the wire on his chain axe. War Thunder, what's up? Don Pingo, thank you. Thank you very much. Fantasy Lover, hello. Welcome to the live stream. Now this is my favorite part, putting on some transfers. One Piece, the one from the past, I haven't seen it. I always see One Piece memes and I see them it referenced on my Twitter feed. I just haven't sat down to watch. I think the last anime I really sat down to watch has been Attack from Titan, Attack on Titan, Titan Attack. Yeah, I like to do these gold transfers on the red. It reminds me very much of like Roman looking color schemes, Romanesque, especially with the Roman numeral 6 for the Space Wolves being the 6th Legion. This is one of the only instances of seeing a transfer on these Varigear models. If you look at the Games Workshop, the official Varigear models, this Roman numeral 6 on the Cataphracti shoulder pad is the only one you'll probably see. These other ones that I'm doing, these runes on the gauntlets, they're my personal touch. I think it looks good and it gives a more custom look to the miniatures. Nerve-wracking. Yeah. So I was trying to put some microset down and microsol to dissolve the transfer, but it still wasn't set yet. The microset hadn't dried. I probably should have waited a little while for it to dry. And so the transfer came right off in my finger. There's not really any way I can solve it. Once it starts folding in on itself, it really is impossible. So that's kind of like the danger of working with transfers. And these transfer sheets cost like 45 bucks. And if you just are not careful with it, or if you're just unlucky. But the good thing for me is that if you take a look at the sixes that I'm using for the cataphracta shoulder pads, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left that will fit. That just means, and they're in gold. I don't know if you can see the color, but the rest of these are red. So I need to be extra vigilant with the rest of these Roman numeral sixes. Look at these awesome designs. I think they're gonna look really cool. Of course, I could use one of these other wolf head designs maybe, but I don't know. Could be a sign just that I shouldn't be working with that Roman numeral 6. I just don't know if anything else is going to fit that shoulder pad size. It's a pretty specific looking thing, and the Games Workshop product page has the red shoulder pad with this gold numeral 6. So if I switch it out, it's going to have to be with a gold design. Some of these look pretty cool. Yeah, these larger ones are for vehicles, so that's not going to work. It's too bad there are these golden studs, because they're taking up some of the workable space that I have. There's really only this little square of space to put a design, so it needs to be like squarish. It can't be a long one. If I could put a long design there, then it would be cool to put like this, the double wolf head. That would be a pretty cool design, but I'm pretty limited. So either this swirling vortex, this diamond. The diamonds, they're all in gold, which is good. The swirling vortex and these other designs, there's only 4 of them. So I'm gonna need to be, I guess, a little frugal. I've linked this transfer sheet. It's a Space Wolves Legion transfer sheet. I've linked it in the video. So if you're interested in getting one for yourself, if you are as interested in using transfers as I am, then yeah, check it out. What I might do, I have done the gold trim on my tank. Very cool. Oh, OJK, I didn't see your comment till just now. It's a great looking me. Thanks, appreciate it. Let's go with the gold 6 one more time. Wherever you are in the world tonight, I hope you're having a good night, getting ready for the week ahead. If you happen to find my channel through doom scrolling the YouTube, then welcome. I hope my content is worthy enough to earn you a like, earn from you a like and a subscription. Maybe even if you'd like to join my channel, be a channel member, like the one from the past, to get a cool channel icon and a highlight on your name in these live streams, preferred comments, all of the free digital downloads that I make on my Discord for helping you keep track of your hobby. All of that is available to my channel members. If you just want to hang out and watch the live stream, then that is telling YouTube that my stuff is worth promoting. So thank you for that too. If you're just hanging out, it's good enough for YouTube. Oh. Hold on, I'll be right back. My baby's crying. talked about it on the stream before. The way that I keep my hands steady is that I use a painting handle and then I brace my wrists together. So even though I'm kind of shaky myself, and that's it. The last thing left to do is to put some basing on, and I might not do any eye. Have a great night.